Good evening, folks. Happy Friday, Steve Vazquez. This is Petition Politics Unfiltered. Tonight, politics. Let's go over a few things that have occurred this week.
Freddy wins. Fatality.
Good evening, Yonkers. I'm Freddy Vazquez. This is Basement Politics, March 3rd, 2023. What's going on in Yonkers? Get that off. Voice. I don't know how I got it on mute. I really don't know how I did that. So, excuse me. I'll start it over. Anyway, folks, I was talking about the vehicles that were stolen. 2 cars were stolen from 2 different downtown luxury buildings. And so what I was saying is that, can you hear me now? We can't hear you. You can hear me now? 2 cars were stolen from these downtown waterfront apartments, the Apex. I forgot what the other ones, I think it's a Sawyer. And so I was saying that, when you think of luxury, you don't think of cars being stolen from the garage, right? You think of doorman, you think of valet guys that park your car, you think of security, but you don't think of your vehicle being stolen in the garage. You don't think of homeless people sleeping, in the lobby. No, you don't think of any of that. You think of luxury, nice, what do you call it, lobby area with a door or whatever you call that person at the front, a door person, someone that's there 24/7, which I hear that they were promised that, and now they're not getting what they were promised, right? So I don't know what's going on there. So I hope these individuals get their cars back, or, they get some kind of, resolution. But, this has been a problem here in the city of Yonkers. And I was saying that there was a recent meeting where you had a police department there speaking to city council in regards to catalytic converters that were being stolen, primarily from Hondas. And so now they're just stealing the whole car. They're just taking the entire car right out the garage, and that's it. So, for you folks out there, be careful. Put one of those bars on your steering wheels, even if you park in the garage, because they're taking them right out of the garage. And, that's nothing new. Well, the car is anyway, stealing the entire car. I remember once, this was many years ago, when I lived on Riverdale. We were going on vacation, so we wake up early in the morning. We had a car service taking us to the airport, and we cut through the parking lot, and we saw a car there on bricks, and I knew the guy. I felt bad. It was a Honda, so Hondas are sought after. But anyway, folks, today I want to talk about our seniors a little bit. I did go and speak with our seniors today, some of our seniors here in the city of Yonkers, and I want to say first, thank you to the seniors that signed my petition. I appreciate you very much so. And it was a great pleasure speaking with you. We spoke for about 45 minutes, and they were, discussing some of the issues that they have been dealing with, right? And the issues that they have been dealing with at their center. And I just didn't understand. I was very confused because I said to myself, and I even asked them, I said, I don't get it. Why don't they just let you guys ladies do what you want? I mean, it's your senior center, right? Why are they giving them such a hard time at the senior center? I don't know why. The Parks Commissioner, Parks and Recreation is Steve Sansone, but the director of Parks and Recreation is Jose Alvarado. Now, Jose Alvarado is also a county legislator. And so some people have said that he is double dipping. Many times you see him at events, whether it be at not galas, but fundraisers or grand openings or groundbreakings. Can you turn the heat off, please? And, during the day when he's actually supposed to be, I guess, working at the Parks Department. So, I mean, is that okay? He's getting paid for both duties, yet he's doing the job simultaneously. Right. So he's at these groundbreakings with developers. Meanwhile, he's supposed to be director of the parks, and he's supposed to be addressing these issues that our seniors are having. So where are you, Jose? Where are you? And Jose Alvarado has a little bit of a history. People have told me about Jose and, his former job at City Hall, where he was removed because of, an issue with drinking on the job. So they removed him and put him somewhere else, I guess in the Parks Department, right? I'm not sure of how he was transferred there, but he ended up in the Parks Department. But I just don't understand, if someone is working and they're drinking on the job, people, according to my sources, would say he reeked of alcohol while at City Hall, then why is he still working for the city? I don't understand this. And again, that's just more of the problems and issues that we have here in the city of Yonkers. But anyway, Jose Alvarado is the individual that has appointed a person to be the center leader. And so a center leader is someone that from what I gather, manages the center. They kind of run it, they open it. I guess they're in charge of it all, the overall center. But they, this person specifically in the Bernice Breckman Center has been very mean to the seniors, right? And I mean, I can see it in their face and in the tone of their voice when they're talking. It's not even anger. It's more like sadness. They don't understand why this person is mean to them. Why do they get yelled at by this person? They feel like they're being treated like a kid. They're now being restricted from the activities that they can do. One of the seniors was a Spanish teacher, has taught Spanish for many, many years. And now that she's retired and she's at the senior center, she was hoping to be able to teach Spanish to other seniors and other people just for free, just as a good thing to do, just to give back. Yet she was denied the opportunity. However, there are other individuals that play cards and actually gamble. They'll play cards for money. They have no problem with that. And I'm not trying to put homeboy out there like that, do your thing, your gambling thing. But I don't understand, how is it that a woman cannot teach Spanish while another man is allowed to gamble in the senior center? And this is the man that the city has been pushing to make the new head of the board of the senior center. So, they want to remove the individuals who are there on the board now. And I just don't understand this, Steve. I don't get it. Why are the seniors having such a hard time? Why are their complaints and their voices not being heard? They're not listened to or cared for. I just don't get it. Oh, here you go, guys. I'm sorry. What's going on? Oh, you're having this issue? Well, let's address that. That's it. Let the woman teach Spanish. That's a good thing. She's offering her time for free. But yet she's denied. And I understand that all too well because I've tried to do things here in the community and I've been denied, rejected. And I just don't get it. And so I want to speak on it because when people come to me and they ask for help, I'm here to help and I follow through. And so to Jose Alvarado, Steve Sansone, and Lisa, the deputy, who herself, not sure why she's still with the city. I mean, she was stealing money. She was taking people's money and not producing legitimate park permits. But now she became the deputy, and our poor seniors can't teach Spanish for free. And what about Camille, the center leader over there? Is she stealing money? Where's the money? The seniors are doing things in order to raise money, but then the money goes missing. And then when they question the money, all of a sudden it slowly started to appear. Camille started to make it appear little by little. So Jose, maybe you ought to check and see what Camille is doing over there. You know, they shouldn't be taking advantage of our seniors. And I understand, what is going on, why they, exercise so much control over these centers. I think I'm starting to understand why. Each center, all its members have to give their information, right? Their name, the address. So each center has a list. There are 16 senior centers here in the city of Yonkers. And there's a list in each center of its members. And so the members have access to that list to call up the other seniors who are members and say, hey, we're going to be doing this. You want to join or whatever. But lately, that list has been controlled and kept tightly secured by the center leader. And so they can't access it to call on other members to communicate with them. And so I started to wonder, is this list also used like in a similar fashion to the food distribution list for voter manipulation or election manipulation reasons? They know who the registered Democrats among the seniors are, where they live, so they hit them right away to get their signatures on the petition. They go and get their ballots. It's the same thing that Tasha Diaz and Corazon Pineda do when they go into the senior buildings over in the South Side and the Southwest Side. It's a racket. And so I want to speak on that. We have to speak on that. It's a racket. So, I wanted to talk about, this because I want to bring it to attention. They said, Freddy, this is not okay. So can we just get some, some assistance there for the seniors, please? Can we see what's going on? So, they come and they ask for help. So I wanted to speak on that. But I want to go back to that, food voter registration. The food distribution voter block. Because now I'm starting to see the bigger picture. And this is important. This is important. When we talk about voter fraud, right? We've heard this on a national level in terms of when it comes to Donald Trump and, his election that he lost. There was a whole issue of voter fraud. There was voter fraud. Trump really won. And it's amazing how there's so many people here in the city of Yonkers who think Trump is crazy for saying that. They don't believe it. And some of those individuals are people who have told me about voter fraud here and how it works. But they don't believe that it happens on a national level. I don't understand that. But it happens here. And it's important that we talk about this. This affects all the candidates. It affects every candidate except, obviously, those who are tied to the administration. So I'm realizing why these elected officials do these food distributions throughout the city of Yonkers. And I've been told by volunteers as well as people who attend these food distributions that they collect their information. And that's not okay because they manipulate folks into signing petitions and even ballots because they are under the impression that this is what they must do in order to get this food. And that's not okay. Because they don't even know who's running in the election. They don't know who the candidates are. they, again, are just under the impression that this is what they have to do to get food. So what I imagine they do is when people come to these food distribution, they ask them. If it's their first time, I'm sure they ask them, are you a registered voter? If they say no, they register them. But they don't think anything of it. They think it's part of the process. Okay, boom, boom, boom. And they go on to get their food. Now they're registered. Now they're a voter. They got their name on the list now. So just before petition season, they get their volunteers and they use an app. I forgot, let me tell you, the app is called, this is an app that they use that they give all their volunteers access to it. And so they know where to go. It's called Your Turf. It says Your Turf. I don't know if you can see that. Right? So it's called Voter Clipboard. Voter Clipboard. And they give a code to each of their volunteer. And it only gives them access to a set territory that they want that volunteer to cover, but it doesn't give them all the names, right? Of course, you don't want to give any one person all the names. But these are the names of the individuals that all have come through these food drives. And so it's interestingly enough that just before petition season would begin, that Janai Wallace would begin a food drive on McLean. Corazon Pineda Isaac also started a food drive in the Nodine Hill section. And so they are used to gather data on folks so they can get them to sign their petitions and even their ballots. That's what's going on here in the city of Yonkers. So when Jeffrey Myers tries to defend criticism from me and others, it's because he's concerned that we are finding out exactly what he is involved in. And they do this again with the senior centers because there are 18 of them. I think 16 or 18 of them. I want to see 16 or 18 of them. And so imagine, how many people is that? How many people do you think they have on this, on these lists, a total, all the food distribution sites, all the senior centers? It's got to be more than 2,000 people at least. Let's just say 2,000. Well, for mayor of Yonkers, you only need 1,000. For a council member, you only need 300 signatures. So boom, there you go. You hit up these lists. There are 16 senior centers. So they divide this list up among their volunteers using this app, and they give them these territories to cover. Go sign up the food distribution people. And so when they come knocking on your door, they say, hi, how you doing? You go to I'm sure they say this, you go to the food distribution, right? Yeah, we signed you, here's the petition, just sign here. Because, Tasha Diaz or whoever, we got to keep the food coming. If they don't win, no more food. Si no ganan, no más comida. Tiene que ganar, tiene que firmar aquí. Porque si no, no te van a dar comida más nada. Te van a botar de la casa y no te van a dar comida. Pero esto es la gente que te andan botando de la casa. Y tú no sabes porque ellos te están dando comida antes que ellos te boten. Right? So what I'm saying is that these are the people that will feed you just before they kick you out. They're making the decisions that are causing the increases in the rents, that are causing people to be pushed out. You're voting for them and they don't even know. They're just trying to get some free food. They have food insecurities. They could care less about elections. And like I said, many of them didn't even know who they were signing for or who were even in the elections. So I can't imagine that they took it upon themselves to go out and register themselves to vote. And so Jeffrey Myers, Zahi Jeris have set up a system, in my opinion, to wholesale votes. And people know this. Candidates know this. Oh, you got this voter block. So when petition season comes around, I can get the signatures. How much do you pay Zahi Jeris and Jeffrey for that? How much? And so I think it's important that the New York State Board of Elections the Westchester County Board of Elections understand that this is going on. And to make it clear that it's not going on, I suggest that Feeding Westchester and Ridgeway Alliance Church cut ties with elected officials, because you know damn well that you don't need the elected officials to feed the people. So why do you even involve them? So that's what this is all about, folks. That is what the feeding people is all about. And that is why they boast and brag about it all the time. And think about it. How can you criticize somebody that's feeding people, right? It would make me look like an a-hole. People who don't understand why I criticize it, it makes me look like a bad person. So it's a perfect little scheme. How can anybody criticize us for feeding people? But it's all a scam. They're scamming those people. They're victimizing those people. They're taking advantage of the fact that they're not educated and they don't know what's going on. And therefore, they are being used to get individuals in office that are ultimately detrimental to them. And they don't even know it. And it's sad. And that's why I want to keep talking about it, because it's important. If you care about fair and honest elections, that is important. That's very important. And so when those people don't go to vote, what do? They take that same list and go up to the Board of Elections and gather all their petitions. All their ballots. And they either bring it to them to get signed, or I wouldn't be surprised if they sign those signatures themselves. And this is not unheard of, because if you go back to the court records, when you're looking at the Zahi Jeris corruption trial, they make mention of that. Anthony Mangone opening up ballots and signing them for Nick Spano. Oh yeah, that was happening. So what I'm saying is not crazy, a conspiracy. Is actually happening. That is how they hold on to power. They have to cheat. People are not going to elect them. Look at what they did with the term extension. They didn't put it to a public referendum. Why? Because the people wouldn't vote for that. They know it. So they have to cheat. That's what Zahi Jeris's job is. That is what he does. But that's also why the Spanos have some fear in him, because he can manipulate elections. If he uses that against them, it could possibly take out the Spanos. But he also has to play nice, because he knows that he needs them just as much as they need him. Yonkers politics is not only corrupt, it's a disgrace. It's an embarrassment. I'm watching a video from 1989. Our council members and mayor, Nicholas Wasisco, at the time were in D.C. talking about the DSEC thing. They were in Supreme Court there. And the way they just disrespected the mayor in front of all those cameras and in public, and the way they acted in front of the cameras. What is it with Yonkers? We cannot get it together. We're an embarrassment of a government. They're actively cheating our elections. And the State Board of Elections and the Westchester County Board of Elections should be investigating that. Feeding Westchester should be investigating that. Ridgeway Alliance Church should be looking into that, because that could cause you guys problems. In the city of Yonkers, it's pay to play and signatures for salads. Yeah. That's what they do. So people who are willing to pay for that, pay Zahi Jeris. Jeffrey Myers is in on it. Why do you think that guy's always defending it? Quick to go on Facebook and make a comment in response. Why, Jeffrey? Because you know what you're doing. Jeffrey Myers, you know what you and Zahi Jeris are doing. You're stealing elections. You're collecting people that you can unload to any candidate for the right price. And these people may not speak English well, or speak English at all, do not know what's going on, may have just recently gotten their green card, and then recently were put, were registered by one of these people at these food distribution centers or drives or sites or whatever. And so now they got Janai Wallace doing one. That's what they do. And it makes sense to me why Vinny Spano wanted me to gather 40 families. He made me feel like we were going to do this turkey Thanksgiving dinner for them, but I think he just wanted these people's information. More voters on this list, right? And so Janai Wallace also, I hear, was offered to be appointed as a council member for District 4 when John Rubel is appointed to deputy mayor. So they know they're going to win. They got it. We're going to win. So we're already making plans, right? And I've been mentioning this. Rumors have it that John Rubel will be appointed deputy mayor. How many deputy mayors do they have? 2, right? So Corazon could be another one. Or maybe she will be city council president. But I hear that Janai Wallace turned down the offer to my surprise, but then I was told why. She was given a job with Shelley Mayer. But for whatever reason, that did not work out. So Janai Wallace, the political sycophant, right? John Rubel loyalist, heads the Matthew Wallace Foundation, now wants the appointment again. So who would like Janai Wallace from District 4? How would you feel about her being your representative? That's who they look to appoint to replace John Rubel when he becomes deputy mayor. If Mike Spano wins. You don't really have any say. You see what I'm saying? You don't have any say in your government. They manipulate the elections. They commit election frauds. They utilize a demographic, a group of people that are not savvy enough to understand what's going on. That gives them a big chunk of voters, but they need to keep the voters low, right? That's why we have such low voter turnout. So they can control it. They control the outcome. If only 20,000 people come out to vote and they have a big chunk of that through their food distribution lists, through their senior centers, and through their nepotism system, what chance do you have? Even if, people don't want them in there, what chance do you have? So this is why I'm going to continue to speak on it and continue to speak to people who have just signed and didn't know what was going on. And they're from the food distribution because they go there. Say, yeah, I just signed because, I don't know. That's what I was told to do. And they went there super early because when I spoke to these people initially, it was on Tuesday, the first day that you go out signing, and it was around 10 o'clock in the morning, 11 in the morning, maybe around that time. So they were already out there. They hit them up early. They know those people were going to be home because they're home during the day. They come to the food distributions during the day. You see how long those lines are? They do it at Chicken Island, on Neperhan. They do it over there by Elm Street. Right? And so they have one up at the top of Nodine Hill, on McLean now with Janai Wallace. They do it over there at the San Andreas or whatever church over there. Lorraine Lopez holds that one down. It's like they got these, it's really Tammany Hall. Yonkers is truly Tammany Hall. And they got these, voter collection center bosses, right? That they put at these different sites. We got Lorraine, you got Tasha at one, you got Janai at the other one, you got Corazon at another one, collecting this data, information of folks that they're going to utilize to sign petitions to get them to vote. And all they had to do was give them some free food, courtesy of Feeding Westchester and Ridgeway Alliance Church and their congregation. Thank you, congregation of Ridgeway Alliance Church, for helping manipulate our elections here in the city of Yonkers. Appreciate it. Thank you. That's what's happening. And are we going to end it? Are we going to put it to an end? Or are we going to continue to let them manipulate the election? And so we like fools when we go to vote. Does it really matter? They're controlling it. It's unbelievable. They're puppets. Absolutely, they're puppets. But forget them, and I'm talking about the voters, right? The voters, are we puppets? I don't think so. This is what they're doing to us. And it's sad because some of these people just don't care. I don't care, whatever. I'm just going to sign. I don't care. I just want my food. And that impacts us. And so to all those who do care, the savvy, sophisticated voters, you must come out. Because they're manipulating and stealing elections using a large demographic that really don't care. So when they say, oh, that those group of people don't come out, really? They're coming out thanks to Zahi Jerris and Jeffrey Meyer. They're coming out through their ballot harvesting, absentee ballots. Maybe the people that are not coming out are the savvy and educated ones because they know that the elections are rigged. So why bother? Right? Let's get our city out of ignorance. Absolutely. And this is why I do basement politics. I want to educate people. Folks, I'm trying to help each and every one of you. The people that are not politically connected, that are not getting the hookup. That's the people that I'm helping. Those are the individuals that I'm helping by telling you this. And they know that I have good information. Somebody just today was telling me, I was talking to so-and-so, and I won't say who, someone connected, and they were saying, man, Freddy definitely has a source on the inside because this information, he can only get it from somebody on the inside. People are tired, even people on the inside. They're tired of this corruption. Some people are involved involuntarily. They don't want to be a part of it. But they are. They have no choice. They have bills to pay. And it's a good job with a good pension. And if they don't do it, someone else will. Ain't that right? Isn't that what you're told? Do you not like your job? Do you not want to keep it? Because if you won't do it, someone else will. So get to it. Is that how you want to be talked to on a daily basis, guys? Don't worry. Freddy's not going to fire you guys. I promise you. We're just going to change things around. We're going to make it fair for everybody. You might have to actually work, some of you nepotism guys, but hey, it's nothing wrong with working hard, man. There's nothing wrong with working hard. So this is very important that we put this information out. It's so important. If you care about the elections, if you care about a fair and honest election and government, then you must care about this. You must care about the fact that we have a corrupt individual who's been convicted of it. He spent 4 years in jail for political corruption, is now manipulating our election, utilizing these food drives, taking advantage of those who are less fortunate, those with food insecurities. They don't even know what's happening. They're voting for people that are voting for laws that are voting for changes in zoning laws that will impact them, that will push them out of their neighborhoods, that will cause their prices, their rents to go up, that are making it difficult for them to find a place to live because there's a lot of corruption going on with housing and these vouchers and these realtors and these brokers. Simon, guy that comes up, and a lot of people are frustrated. Why can't they get an apartment? They have the money, or is it just a scam to take application fees? And why are they paying broker fees when they're already monetarily insecure or financially insecure or money insecure? Or do you only care about the food insecure people where you can gather their data, their information? Those that don't have places to live yet probably aren't registered to vote. Might be difficult to register them to vote. Focus on those who have a home. That's why they don't care about the homeless either. So it's time to make change. If you have not voted for a candidate, if you have not signed a petition for a candidate for mayor, then reach out to Freddy, save your signature for Freddy, because our goal is to collect 3,000 signatures. We need all of your signature. There's enough people to do it and make it happen. And let's change this government. It's corrupt. It's corrupt to the core. Corrupt to the core. And I warned our city council president about this. I warned everyone in 2011 what's to come. It's funny, he said, what's to come. At least McLean was an accomplished engineer and held a degree. That's right. You know, and he didn't want to go against the Spanos because they were going to go all out to war with him. He wanted to go for a third term, but the Spanos were not going to allow it. They wanted to grab power. And so they prepared to go to war. And Amacon said, I don't need politics. They do. It's not worth it. I'm out of here. And they took over, and now they keep extending terms because it's okay for them. but it's not okay for anyone else. It wasn't okay for Amacone. And so that's why he left. So shout out to you, Phil Amacone, Republican mayor, right? Lakeisha Collins Bellamy, I warned her what was to come. And she said she had it. I'm good. I know. You think I'm going to let them do my... I'm an Esquire attorney. Well, it seems like she is feeling a bit guilty. And now she's got to say something. She's got to hold them accountable and make sure that they get something or they give something to the city. We need some community benefit from AMS. Maybe, like a center. Right. Let's hear what she had to say at the recent meeting. That's what it sounded like. And she didn't appreciate the fact that, she's a lot of blacks, her own people, are being pushed out, priced out of her neighborhood where she grew up. Things are really changing, aren't they? Well, first, let's hear what John Rubel had to say. This is a meeting from last week, and I wasn't able to play the entire thing, or I didn't play it a little bit because of delays. But here we go.
I just want to take an opportunity to
I agree. Hold on to that thought. There's still time for her to flip the script. I agree. Hold on to that thought. I was going to get to that, but I'm glad you brought that up.
State that I support this project. I'm very excited to see the work that is being proposed through this zoning change. We're going to see nearly a decade's worth of construction work and activity in our city. And
you heard him. We're going to see nearly a decade of construction work in our city. And we're talking about AMS, Chicken Island. Who's going to want to deal with that for a decade? And it's not even going to benefit you.
And I think this speaks volumes of the direction of our city, the activity we're seeing here. And this project in its entirety, we'll see an investment of nearly $1.5 billion in our city, adding 3,200 new residents, 350 affordable housing units, new businesses, residents.
3,200 new residents, 350 affordable units out of 3,200.
And it's a great addition to our city. I'm very excited to see this happening. I did just want to make a quick note for the record, and I've done this on every vote I've taken on anything that has to do with this mixed-use development as proposed by AMS. And that's just to state I am a tenant in one of the properties that they've purchased over the last few years.
You know why he's saying that? Because of me, because of Freddy Vazquez basement politics. He is a tenant of AMS who's doing all this development, the ones that are doing the master plan or the master's plan, as I like to call it. He's a tenant. It's Yonkers Brewing Company. They hooked him up with their lease. So now he's mentioning it because he should not be voting on anything that has to do with AMS. Although he says that the Yonkers Board of Ethics or the Yonkers Ethics Board said it was okay, and I believe this was in 2017, for him to do so. However, they are bought and paid for also. And in fact, the secretary of the Yonkers Board of Ethics is married to a woman that filed for the creation of the organization, the Committee for a Better Yonkers, which is being sued by Mike Cater. So is that man and his wife, Roseanne Gallego, for the attacks on Mike Cater. The Committee for a Better Yonkers, which is basically an organization that collected money from real estate developers and everyone who has interest in the real estate racket that's going on here in the city. And they attacked Mike Cater using all those funds, viciously attacked him. So he's saying that this organization, this Board of Ethics, cleared me, so I'm good. Yeah, somebody needs to clear that Board of Ethics because I don't think they're very ethical. If they still exist, which I don't think they do.
Was a tenant there before they purchased the building.
Yes, he was a tenant before they purchased the building. He was struggling. And then when they purchased it, they revised his lease or amended his lease in his favor. So he owes them big time.
And that's where I operate my business. Seeing that these votes
right.
would be coming before us, I requested in December of 2020 that the ethics board review this, and with outside counsel on February 24th, 2001, they made a determination, an advisory opinion from the ethics board that there were no violations of the ethics code. So I just want to
So he was appointed back in 2019 to chair the real estate committee. The ethics board did not make a decision until 2021. So he was voting for them for all that time before they decided it was ethical and it was okay for him to continue voting for projects for AMS projects. Really? And who put him as the chair of the real estate committee? None other than Corazon Pineda, a Democrat. Meanwhile, this guy's a Republican. Meanwhile, this guy's connected to the developers. She was even criticized by Tasha Diaz for doing that. Let's see the lease before AMS bought the building and the current lease when AMS acquired the building. Right, because there could be quid quo pro stuff going on there. Yet Liam McLaughlin, John Rubo's good buddy, is never going to do that like he did to Mike Cater. Mike Cater, by the way, recently was hanging out with the mayor, I see today. Peace in the Middle East?
put that out on the record. And again, just state that I'm very excited to see all of this economic activity in our city. I think it speaks volumes for the direction that we're headed and all of the success that Yonkers has hailed. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you.
All the success that Yonkers has hailed. Listen, I don't understand what he means by that. All this economic progress. What economic progress? People in the city are not getting jobs. People in the city are not prospering. Developers are building. Developers are spending billions of dollars. But how is that economically benefiting the community, the city of Yonkers? What is the benefit? He didn't state any specific benefit. Nothing. There is no benefit. None at all. People are being pushed out. Prices of rents are going up. Cost of living overall is going up. The crowded streets, the damaged streets, the infrastructure, strain on the infrastructure even more so. Wait till they finish in another 10, 20 years. Again, this is a 10-year project. Let's hear what the city council president had to say.
Next, we will have Councilwoman Williams.
And try to just that's going to benefit people that we don't even know of. That's going to be and it's always been my goal to make sure that the community that's here is a part of the growth that we're experiencing. And I feel that with this project, that will be the case. It's not just going to benefit people that we don't even know of that's going to be coming in here, because I've had many conversations with these developers and with the administration, and I know that we're going to be working together on a community benefits agreement plan, which I know a lot of the community is very concerned about. So I will definitely keep everyone in the loop on that, because it is going to come down the pipeline, and I'm very excited about that. This is going to be a good project, but this is just the start. We'll continue to keep everyone in the loop on everything that's happening, working with the planning department, making sure that the community is, aware of all of the different steps that will be taken down the road. But I will be supporting this tonight. I will be voting in favor of this zone change. Again, we've had a number of meetings, and we've given many opportunities for the public to come and share their comments, and we've addressed a lot of the issues and concerns, and we'll continue to address some of the outstanding issues, including working with the administration, with the city, to resolve all of the traffic issues that we know is going to come as a result of this project, and so much more. But I look forward to, how everything unfolds. And certainly I'm looking forward to that community benefits plan, because I know it's going to be a good thing for the city and for the residents of Yonkers. So I will be supportive tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
So she
Any
says
other
that
questions?
she's going to support it. She knows that, it's going to benefit the people here, not just new people coming in. And she said the same thing in like 3 different ways, right? She didn't really say much. You guys picked that up. She said the same thing in a bunch of different ways, which wasn't much. Just that she looks forward to it. She thinks it's a great project and that it's going to benefit the city, but she can't tell us how. Why? Because she's yet to even come to some agreement with AMS on anything for the community. on anything for the city. Yet and still, they're voting on it. So why are you voting on it now if you haven't gotten anything from them? You can't negotiate like that. That's backwards. I mean, folks, I'm trying to help this city out here. Do you not agree? This is, unbelievable, and it should be pissing you off. She's playing everybody there. There are people in the community that live in her district that have complained about her not being transparent and not answering their, concerns or their emails, not returning their calls, not letting them know anything of what's going on. That was the main complaint among the people. Yet and still, she says that she's going to do everything, and she's letting them know, and she's going to keep them up, to date on everything, every single part of it. Is she really going to do that? And I think this is going to be great, and we're going to get some great things. And I know that the community, the members, are concerned about it. She says it. They are concerned. But you haven't eased their concerns because you said nothing. 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 What are you going to, go in there at least and try and get for the community? Can you at least give us that? Let us know. What is it that you want for your community, for the city? What are you going to go into that meeting, if it ever happens, and negotiate for? What? They haven't said nothing. They don't tell us anything. They just approving everything that AMS wants. It doesn't matter what the people say. And I spoke to some members of that community there in that area, and I told them, it doesn't matter if you make noise or you don't. They're still going to want to come for you and take what they want. So you need to make noise, because that's the only way that we can try to expose and unravel this and slow it down. Vote for change. You have to come out and vote for change. Folks, this is not for the majority of you. Today, I was driving on Ashburn, and I was by Whitney Young there. The light was red, so I stopped by the store there, and it's Whitney Young, where, people have been shot many times. Young guy that I knew there was killed about 2 years ago, right there in front of that store. They had the video of it and everything, by another young kid. The kid was 15, another kid that I knew as well, which saddened me, because the kid didn't even live in Yonkers. He was taken out of Yonkers to avoid things like that happening. But he was in town and made a mistake that ended 2 lives, 2 families, traumatized. And so this is not obviously, the safest area. And who do I see there? I see like 3 or 4 young Hasidic Jewish boys. And I looked and I said, I was surprised to see them there. And what someone told me is that they get bar mitzvah money and they go and look for properties to buy. And so that's what they're doing. And I've seen them walking also on Lockwood. And I was just like, I don't know what's going on, but they're looking for properties to buy. They are taught young. That's the right thing to do. I'm not mad at it. And this is what I wanted to do with our youth. But the city didn't want to work with me for whatever reason. But that's so important. And the point I'm making is that they're buying everything up. And I mean, investors are buying everything up. They're going to change Yonkers completely. You have to see past what's happening now, see 10, 15 years down the line and what it's going to look like. And is that the Yonkers you want to live in? And is that going to be a Yonkers for you? And I think Lakeisha Collins Bellamy is starting to see that. And she's starting to have a little bit of guilt. Let's hear what she has to say. Shanae is full of ish. She should be fighting for affordable housing. But since she is running for office, she has to play along. Absolutely. She has to. She can't go against the grain. She just wants to be a county legislator. They talk and say nothing. A bunch of hot air, don't they? It's like nothing. Acknowledging reality, that's what she's doing, and not doing anything about it. But I think Lakeisha is seeing what's
The comments on this item? Okay. I will just say that I came on to the council once this had already been, the process had already began.
Okay, so she's trying to distance herself right there from jump. I came on the council when this process already began. So you see her, she's trying to distance herself from it right there.
So I had a bit of catching up to do and watching old videos to see what had transpired. But I can say from my position as a community member who has lived in this part of Yonkers for the overwhelming majority of my life, with the exception of when the townhouses were built, moving to the east side. And even having an hour-long conversation with my mother today and talking about living in a community where at a time when you were placed over here and it was like, this is where you stay, this is where you live. And Yonkers, the northeast and northwest and southwest sections of Yonkers kind of looked like another world. And now you see all the development coming up in the area that was once delegated to minority communities in the city. And we all know DSEG happened and all that has transpired since then. But now there's a huge boom of development in these communities, and a lot of people feel displaced by that development. So, and oftentimes we're asked, well, what is the community getting? Because the luxury buildings, we have so many poor people that live here in the city of Yonkers, they can't afford to rent in those buildings without the exception of the affordable units, which I'm glad to say AMS was willing to come to the 10% mark on the affordable units to allow for more residents that currently live in the city of Yonkers to take part in it. And full transparency, I will let you all know that I came to this meeting tonight at a no, for the reasons that I reiterated, just not feeling as if the residents that currently live here in the city of Yonkers will benefit in any way from this project, because most of them can't afford to live here or just aren't getting any community benefit. So that was my hard sticking point. And I hadn't spoken to any of the council members about it, not trying to sway their vote one way or the other. And so tonight, right before the meeting began, I expressed my concern to a couple of the council members. And so I want to applaud both Majority Leader Tasha Diaz and Councilwoman Williams for standing in solidarity with me on that issue, as far as it comes to the community getting some sort of benefit from this project this development coming up in the neighborhood. So we actually have a meeting scheduled to discuss just that. And that was the only way to sway me in any direction. And I will give the community my word that I will stand firm. And, you know, we have the word of Mr. Mitnick that he is in fact in support of providing some sort of, and our first thought was like a community center, kind of like what is at Dayspring. A lot of times we hear from our youth and it's like, we don't have any open gyms. What if we want to go play basketball? Computer centers, anything in the community to benefit the people from that community. So we will be working on that project in the near future to ensure that there is some sort of benefit for the members that live in the community presently. So with that assurance from Mr. Mitnick and council, we are moving forward, and I will be voting yes on this item tonight. And thank you for your commitment, Mr. Mitnick, to the community here in Yonkers, and I will be supporting this item with that stipulation that we do in fact get some sort of benefit for the residents that currently live in those communities. If we don't have any other questions or comments on that item, we will close the floor and bring the item to a vote.
Let's see what's the vote? I'm going to guess 7-0. How about you guys? Anyone, excuse me, want to take a guess before I play it? I'm guessing 7-0. What about you guys? Anybody something different? Let's see if I'm right. Let's see what it is.
Mr. Clerk, all members by name.
Adopted 7-0. Item number 4 is a resolution approving plan modification.
Damn, am I good, guys? I'm telling you, I haven't been in Yonkers politics for a long time, but I am good. How did I know that? 7-0. We should do like a little gambling thing every time they go to vote. 7-0, what's your thing?
We gathered today because
we
many
knew
of you have
that it
been
would be
seen
7-0.
or heard, whether it will be
how they usually vote here in the city of Yonkers. They give the Spanos everything that they want. 7-0. So Lakeisha says that in order for her to, be willing to move forward and vote yes, she had to make sure that they were willing to meet with her in regards to a community benefits agreement or CBA. And who's going to be a part of the CBA, board of people who are going to be a part of this? Is it just going to be the council, or are they going to pick members of the community like they did with the, the power plant where they had, Jenai Wallace, they had Hector Santiago, and, and other individuals? How are they going to do this? Are they going to include people of the community? And is it really just a community center that we want from these people spending billions of dollars? That's all we're going to get? And why just a community center? I mean, will the people even be there anymore to enjoy that community center? They probably will be pushed out eventually. So she says that, I talked to Michael Mitnick, and he promised me he's going to do something for the community. You can see it in her face, hear it in her voice. She knows they ain't going to do nothing, and they haven't been doing nothing. And the place is going to change completely. They're going to put a bunch of luxury developments in Chicken Island. What is it, 7 buildings? What is that going to look like? It is not like these places are being kept up immaculately. I mean, I posted pictures that people have sent to me of the downtown waterfront area looking a mess still. Cars are being stolen from the garages. Homeless people sleeping in the lobbies. Packages are being stolen. People are being evicted every time they increase the rents. People are bouncing back and forth. It's a revolving door. What's really happening down there? It's like they're doing a bunch of different things. Venture residential's over here. Hollywood on the Hudson signs over there. Studios over there. We got 22 studios. And a bunch of luxury residentials. MGM Grand Casino and Hotel. Like, what is Yonkers going to become in 10 years? We haven't gotten anything. There's been no community benefit, none whatsoever. The people of Yonkers have not received anything. And when people tell me that Mike Spano is doing good because look at what's happening in the waterfront, I just know that that person doesn't know what he's talking about or she's talking about. You're just looking at some buildings going up and you think that's a great job. You need to be more involved. It's important that we know what's going on, because when people don't know what's going on, it impacts those who do know what's going on. And so we all need to know what's going on. It's important. Community got zero. Congested roads, red light cameras, no increase in affordable housing. The residents get bent over again. Exactly. You know how many tickets I got? These red lights all of a sudden. It's funny. I don't know if there's a correlation there or not. It's just strange that I got all these red light traffic camera tickets after, that whole incident, and me and Vinny weren't cool no more. I don't know if that's a correlation. I'm just saying it's interesting. Coincidence. Double talking. Come on, sister. Don't vote until you get it in writing. Exactly. You are a sorry joke. You are a black puppet. Look, I didn't say it, but this is what people look at you as, Miss Bellamy, Esquire. And make sure you call me Freddy Vazquez, NBA. I'm just kidding. I don't care. I don't care. This is what people are thinking, and I just say it. I didn't call you a black puppet. I never called Lakeisha Collins Bellamy a black puppet. What I said is that is what they look at her as. That is what they think of her as. And I can show you plenty of videos of some folks saying some of the most disgusting, racist things. And these are individuals who who always want sympathy because people are being discriminatory towards them. But these videos are hidden very well. But I have a collection of them because, we need to know the truth. I like truth. I'm about truth. And we are having people take over our city. We are being pushed out. They are completely changing Yonkers. And from my good inside sources, because people know I have good inside sources, that is the master plan. The master plan is to remove a large demographic of the city of Yonkers that is not really welcomed anymore out. That's an intentional, purposeful plan. That is no conspiracy. That is the truth. That is the truth. And largely it is going to be minorities, but it doesn't matter. Elderly people as well, even if they're white. Or get them to sell their homes by enticing them with these new senior centers that they want to build because they want their property. That's why you see them promoting it. You talk about John Rubel. You know, we're going to build seniors so the seniors could downsize and they can sell their homes. Don't sell your home. It's an asset. Pass it to your grandchildren. Don't sell an asset for a liability like an apartment. You know, this is sad, man. I don't know. I don't like people taken advantage of. I don't like people are being bullied. People are being pushed out. People are being lied to, taken advantage of by our elected officials. And this is not okay to me. 617. Oy vey. It's going to look like a mini co-op city. Folks in Rubel's district better pay attention. They're next. I've been saying this to the folks on the east side. You guys are next. You see what they want to do with the zoning laws. They want to change areas that are just that are zoned only for single families. They want to change that. And you see it happening thanks to our city council and Lakeisha Collins Bellamy's boss, Wilson Kimball. And by the way, did you hear Janai Wallace was appointed to the planning board? What the hell does Janai Wallace know about city planning? What the hell does she know? You might as well make her a surgeon. Hey, St. John's, are you looking for a surgeon? Janai Wallace is available. Apparently, she can do anything. Where is $3 million that Ridge Hill set aside for the new firehouse? What did the city do with that money? Somebody pocketed it. It was pocketed. The writing was on the wall 25, 30 years ago. People poo-pooed it then. Now here we are. That's right. But we have an opportunity. We need to let everybody know, in order to save Yonkers, we need to make sure that we get Freddy's petition signed, that we see it through all the way through the primary into the general election, because that is the only way we save Yonkers. That's it. I'm the only guy that's going to be for the people. I'm not bought by these developers. All of them are leveraged by the developers, specifically AMS. All of them. Leverage. I must say she is a great bullshitter. I guess the second floor taught her well. Yeah. And, you know, it's sad. Remember the story? Folks, really quick before I get off, check this out. Anybody hear about this? Partners said developer shooting won't stall project. The shooting of a Yonkers developer, allegedly by his wife, won't stop his company's downtown project. Eric Wolf of Metro Partners said work at the Teutonia Hall site on Buena Vista Avenue continues. Wolf of Metro Partners? What's up with AMS? This is from 2014. So they took this over, right? There were other developers that got kicked out for, Spano friends, so they can make the money. The shooting of a Yonkers developer allegedly by his wife won't stop the company's downtown project. Eric Wolf, a principal at Metro Partners and one of Kenneth Dearden's business partners, said work at the Teutonia site on Buena Vista Avenue will continue. Dearden has accused his wife, Emily, of shooting him in the head, last year in a lawsuit. Metro Partner plans to build an apartment complex that will incorporate part of the former German music hall's facade. Wolf didn't Wolf didn't comment on Dearden's personal affairs, but he said that the environmental cleanup at the site is expected to be done by the first quarter of 2015. So this had, initially had other developers, but then I guess AMS came in, they took over, they bought the trolley barn, they hooked up John Rubel with a better deal, put him in his pocket. They got contracts with Nick Spano. They put Nick Spano in their pocket, putting Mike Spano in their pocket. They got control of the Yonkers Industrial Development Agency so they can get all the tax breaks. They got control of the planning board. They got control of the zoning board of appeals through Wilson Kimball. And they got control of our elections through these food distribution drives brought to you by Zahi Jerris, Jeffrey Myers, Feeding Westchester, Ridgeway Alliance Church, and all the corrupt individuals within our government at every level from city, county, and state. All of you are corrupt, and I believe in God, and one day you will all be judged. And I just hope I'm there to see it. I'm Freddy Vazquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Thank you, my beautiful people. Have a beautiful, blessed weekend. Make sure you save your signature for the one person that will root out this corruption.
Freddy.
I'm Freddy Vazquez. This is Basement Politics, where truth lives and corruption dies. It's very important that we spread the word about these food distributions. That is voter fraud, election manipulation, election tampering. They are taking advantage of those who are not aware of the election process, our democratic process, and stealing it from us, the people. Zaid Jarris and Jeffrey Myers, in my opinion, are selling votes, selling signatures, selling a voter block of those who are food insecure. Thank you. We must stop it, folks. I care enough. So other folks that had an issue with this Teutonia, you should reach out to me. My petition is still available for you guys to sign. We must work together to create change. We cannot wait to see what happens, because if you do, what will happen will be what you do not want to happen. They're going to take your properties. They're going to shut your business down. They're going to push you out. You don't belong in the Hollywood on the Hudson.
Freddy wins. Fatality.
You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddy Vazquez. You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddy Vazquez.
Freddy wins. Fatality.
Thank you for watching Basement Politics with my husband, Freddy Vazquez.
Freddy wins. Fatality.
Let's get it poppin'. Let's get it poppin'.
In another one, Mr. Rumo lied to me, and I don't vote for a person that lied to me. Thank you very much.
Are we doing interviews right now?
Yes, I sent that text message yesterday if you had any questions for the candidates.
Yes, but I thought it was going to be like after we went through the agenda, we would then do interviews. But I'm okay. I don't have any questions. I know. I think she's great. I think she'll be a great first deputy counsel.
I want to end this quick because I'm greedy and I want some of the butter chicken. So thank you.
Freddy wins. Fatality.
You know, what is that sweet spot? We're going to leave it where it is. Let's vote on this. Let's get it popping. Like I said, political games that are being played. We're going to leave it where it is. Let's vote on this. Let's get it popping. Like I said, political games that are being played. We're going to leave it where it is. Let's vote on this. Let's get it popping. Like I said, I was raised in housing. I don't think you were. I went to Yonkers public schools. I don't think you did. We can go on all night with this, honey. Let's get it popping. I was raised. Let's get it popping.
Fatality. Freddy wins. Fatality.
No!
Freddy wins. Fatality. Freddy wins. Fatality.